In today's video, we're gonna be looking at 10 of the most creepiest last recordings of people before they went missing. Let's get right into it. In the early hours of May 27th, 2018, a young couple set out on an adventure that would tragically end in mystery. Sophia McKenna and Spencer Mugford, both in their early 20s, embarked on a sail in the waters of Groton, Connecticut. The two seemed to be enjoying their trip, documenting their trip on Snapchat. One image captured Sophia standing by a lighthouse, while another showed Spencer at the helm of the sailboat. At some point during their trip, something went terribly wrong. Their boat was later found abandoned along Truman's Beach in New York, far from where their trip began. For days, search and rescue teams scoured the waters and surrounding areas, hoping to find any trace of the missing couple. 2 weeks after the disappearance, Mugford's body was discovered floating in Long Island Sound. The tragic discovery left friends and family devastated. Despite the extensive searches, Sophia McKenna was never found, leaving her fate unknown. Also, Sophia's mother received 7 missing calls from Mugford's phone between 2:05 and 2:09 a.m. on the night they disappeared. These Snapchat photos were the last things found on her phone before her tragic disappearance. On the morning of April 6, 1986, a mother went to wake her 9-year-old daughter, Antoinette K. Dito, only to find that Antoinette's bed was empty and her daughter nowhere to be found. Panic set in immediately as her mother searched every corner of her room, desperately hoping to find Antoinette. But unfortunately, she was gone. The mother called police and a big search was sent out, but nothing was found of Antoinette. Antoinette's sudden disappearance left her family in shock. Days turned into weeks, then months, with no sign of the young girl or any clues as to what happened that night. Then, a year later, police received a haunting call from a terrified girl claiming to be Antoinette, saying she was in Albuquerque.
I'm Antoinette Garavito.
Her mother recognized the voice instantly, but before she could say more, a man shouted in the background, followed by Antoinette's screams before the call abruptly ended.
Hello? Antoinette, where are you? Antoinette?
Antoinette remains missing to this day, and that eerie phone call is the last thing she left behind. In July 2014, 28-year-old Lars Matank traveled to Bulgaria for a vacation with friends. While watching a football match, Matank and his friends became involved in a heated argument with some local men. The situation quickly escalated into a physical altercation, which left Matank with a ruptured eardrum. The injury was severe enough that it prevented Matank from flying back to Germany on schedule. His friends were unable to stay due to their own commitments and left him behind. Matank's behavior began to change drastically after his friends left. His erratic actions were captured on the hotel's CCTV cameras, where he was seen running around the hallways. Matank then made a phone call to his mother and told her that he believed 4 men were out to kill him, though he provided no further details. Security footage from the airport shows him running frantically out of the airport and into a nearby field, where he vanished from sight. Despite extensive searches by local authorities, no trace of Matank was ever found. On the night of December 7th, 2000, Trevor Daly, a 22-year-old ET worker, attended a Christmas party hosted at a popular nightclub in Dublin. Daly decided to leave the nightclub around 3:25 a.m. He made a quick stop at his workplace, which was nearby. Daly was then seen on CCTV footage interacting with someone dressed in black. By 4:14 a.m., surveillance cameras captured Daly walking alone on his ride home. The CCTV footage from the area shows the man in black following Daly shortly after their conversation. The footage showed Daly walking calmly while the man in black remained behind, moving in the same direction but maintaining a consistent distance. This was the last known sighting of Trevor Daly. After this footage, Daly seemingly vanished without a trace. The identity of the man in black also remains a mystery, and there is no explanation as to why he was following Daly or what transpired during their brief encounter. In the summer of 2013, Tiffany Whitten was fired from her job due to issues related to theft and drug use. She was not in the best state of mind as she relied on drugs to cope with her problems. One day in September of 2013, Tiffany arrived at a Walmart store, appearing to be under the influence. The store's CCTV cameras captured her movements as she wandered through the store, picking up various items of clothing. Tiffany then loaded these items into her bag without attempting to pay for them. As Tiffany proceeded toward the store's exit, her actions drew the attention of Walmart security. The confrontation that followed was captured by the store's surveillance camera. The footage shows Tiffany, in a panic, throwing aside her handbag and sandals as she tried to evade capture. Tiffany then dashed out the store and vanished without a trace. This CCTV footage is the last thing anyone has seen of her before her disappearance. On February 13, 2017, two teenage girls named Abigail Williams and Liberty German went for an afternoon hike on a well-known trail near their hometown in Delphi, Indiana. The girls had a day off from school and decided to go on a quick afternoon hike. However, when they didn't show up at their scheduled location on time, the family quickly got concerned and would report the girls missing by 5:30 p.m. Tragically, the next day, during the search, their bodies were found in a secluded wooden area not far from where they had last been seen. During their hike, they would come across a stranger walking towards them, and Liberty felt a sense of unease, so she decided to take her phone out and start recording him.
Guys. Downhill. Guys. Downhill.
This chilling video became a crucial piece of evidence in the investigation. In the video, the man can be heard saying, "Guys, down the hill." This was the last video Liberty recorded before their ultimate demise. The unsettling disappearance of Patricia Meehan remains one of the most baffling mysteries. In the days leading up to her vanishing, Patricia's behavior became increasingly erratic. On April 19, 1989, just one day before she would disappear, she made a call to her father. Patricia sounded distraught and stressed, telling him that she wanted to come back home. On the night of April 20th, 1989, Patricia was driving along Montana's Highway 200 when she crashed into another vehicle. The crash itself wasn't major, but it quickly took a strange turn. Instead of reacting with concern or panic, she approached the other driver in an almost robotic and NPC manner. She didn't say a word. Instead, Patricia walked away from the scene and stood on the side of the road, staring at the wreckage as if she was detached from reality. Then she walked into a nearby field and disappeared. Authorities discovered her camera, which had a chilling selfie of Patricia staring blankly into a mirror, her expression cold and emotionless. This creepy image is the last thing she left behind before disappearing forever. On the night of August 9th, 2013, Brandon Lawson left his home after a heated argument with his girlfriend. Not long after, he contacted his brother, revealing that he was stranded without gas and felt like he was being pursued by a group of people. Concerned for Brandon, who had a history of drug use, his brother feared that he might be experiencing a drug-induced episode. Brandon then made a harrowing 911 call soon after. During the call, he was sounding distressed and terrified, saying that he was being chased by a group of people in the woods. He would then end the call right after.
911 emergency.
Yes, I'm in the middle of the field. It takes just pushed some guys over. Right here going towards Javelin on both sides. My truck ran out of gas. Quick burn.
Police tracked down where he was and found Brandon's truck abandoned with no sign of him nearby. The girlfriend of Brandon's brother then reported that Brandon had called her and said he was injured and bleeding. After that call, Brandon was never found again and still remains missing to this day. In May 2013, this video was uploaded on YouTube featuring a woman named Susan Powell, who appeared to be documenting the valuable possessions in her home. In this video, which was originally recorded in July 29, 2008, she expressed that she wanted to account for her belongings in case something were to happen to her.
Covering all my bases, making sure that if something happens to me or my family or all of us, that our assets are documented.
Susan's demeanor in the footage seems anxious and distressed, as if she's worried for something. It is pretty obvious to tell by her heavy breathing and distressed face. Susan would end up disappearing under mysterious circumstances in December of 2009, 1 year after this video was recorded. Over time, suspicions have increasingly focused on her husband, Joshua Powell. Many believe Joshua may have been involved in Susan's disappearance. Following Susan's disappearance, Joshua would end up losing custody of their children. He would then unfortunately take the lives of his children before taking his own after. Susan still remains missing, and we don't know where she is to this day.
This is me, July 29th, 2008.
On September 7th, 2015, a woman named Corinne McCabe received a disturbing voicemail from her husband, Henry McCabe. The voicemail contained a disturbing mix of unsettling and creepy growls and someone moaning in the background. Amid these spine-chilling sounds, Henry's distressed voice could be heard in the background saying, "Stop it." The disturbing nature of the voicemail led to Henry being quickly reported missing. The last person to have seen Henry was a friend who had dropped him off at a convenience store after a night of partying. Despite this lead, Henry seemed to vanish without a trace, sparking a massive search. The case took a grim turn when Henry's body was eventually found in a lake about 6 miles from the convenience store where he was last seen. In a puzzling twist, the medical examiner reported no visible injuries on Henry's body. To this day, we don't know what was on that voicemail and what exactly happened with Henry. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe for weekly top 10 videos. Also, let me know in the comments which one of these last recordings of missing people you found the most creepy. And also make sure to check out these videos right here for more top 10 videos.